Can ICE enter your home without a judge's warrant? That question sparked a tense exchange.
Are you aware of ICE agents continuing to enter businesses or residences without judicial warrants?
Sir, what I could say is HSI special agents use judicial warrants to enter locations, that are reviewed by whether a state or federal judge in furtherance of our criminal investigations every single day.
So are you aware of ICE agents entering businesses or residences without judicial warrants?
I'm not specifically aware of those instances, sir, no.
Thank you. Assistant Director Kroll, earlier this year, Steve Bannon and other mega extremists suggested that ICE send agents to polling places, locations for this November. And the White House refused to take the idea off the table. Although ICE officials have told this committee that there are no plans to send ICE to polling locations. Earlier this month, there were reports that ICE vehicles were in the parking lot of polling locations in California, and just last week, ICE agents entered a polling place in Syracuse, New York, to accost a poll worker for exercising her First Amendment rights. Have you been briefed on the Syracuse or California situation?
Sir, I could speak generally to the Syracuse event.
Please.
It was my understanding as an interview for our Office of Professional Responsibility unrelated to the polling event. It was merely that the person that was in that location was a suspect that the agents from OPR would be attempting to interview, unrelated to any type of fraud or that location.
But agents did go into the polling place.
I don't have the specifics, but it is my understanding that that person relayed that the location of her business was, that specific location, hence why they went to that location for the interview.
So are you familiar with Section 592 of Title 18 of the U.S. Code?
Not directly, sir.
Well, for your information, it bars the presence of armed federal officers at polling places except to repel armed enemies of the United States. Can you share with us any training that ICE agents might receive relative to Section 592 of Title 18?
I don't have specifics on that, sir.
Can you provide the committee with that information?
I'd be happy to get that back to you.
Right, and the goal of this statute is to prevent voter intimidation. Unfortunately, it appears that the goal of this administration in its public statement is to intimidate voters or interfere with state and local efforts to administer elections. And so will you commit to this committee today that you will not deploy ICE agents to or around polling places while voting is underway?
So what I can say is that there are no plans that I'm aware of for HSI special agents to be, in voting locations at all.
So if it's a violation of the law, you'll follow the law?
That's correct, sir.
Thank you. Lastly, judicial warrants.
A congressional hearing on immigration enforcement turned tense as Congressman Bennie Thompson questioned a senior ICE official about judicial warrants, home entries, and reports involving ICE agents at polling locations. Thompson began by raising concerns about recent reports that ICE personnel had appeared near polling places during elections. Referring to incidents in California and Syracuse, New York, he questioned whether federal immigration agents were operating in or around voting locations and whether those actions could discourage citizens from exercising their right to vote. The ICE official responded that the Syracuse incident involved an investigation conducted by the agency's Office of Professional Responsibility and stated that it was unrelated to voting or election activities. According to his testimony, agents were attempting to interview an individual connected to an investigation, and the location happened to be the person's workplace. Thompson then cited federal law governing the presence of armed federal officers at polling places and asked whether ICE agents received training on those legal restrictions. The official acknowledged that he did not know the specific training details, but agreed to provide that information to the committee at a later date. The discussion then shifted to one of the hearing's most closely watched moments. Thompson asked whether ICE agents were entering homes or businesses without judicial warrants. The official responded that Homeland Security Investigations agents routinely execute judicial warrants approved by state or federal judges during criminal investigations. However, when asked directly whether he was aware of instances in which ICE agents entered homes or businesses without judicial warrants, he said he was not specifically aware of such cases. Thompson also questioned other witnesses on the panel, who similarly stated that they were not aware of specific incidents involving warrantless entries. The exchange highlighted the continuing debate over immigration enforcement practices, constitutional protections, and the limits of federal authority. Supporters of stronger immigration enforcement argue that ICE officers operate within the law and are essential to public safety, while critics continue to raise concerns about civil liberties, due process, and the impact of immigration enforcement on local communities and voters. Although the hearing did not produce definitive answers on every issue raised, it underscored the growing congressional scrutiny surrounding ICE operations, judicial warrants, election-related activities, and immigration enforcement policies across the United States. If you enjoy in-depth coverage of congressional hearings, immigration policy debates, and government oversight, subscribe to Capital and Country News and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest updates.